Welcome everyone. Let's see some updates with the severe weather in parts of North America and also in Europe. So first, let's see quickly here for Europe. We have a lot of storms across Spain, some areas in Italy as well, and we have some outlooks here now, especially for today and tomorrow. Spots of France, Spain, and northern Italy. There's a level 1 issued across southeastern France, southwestern Germany, and western Switzerland for a mix of heavy rain, some hail, strong to severe wind gusts, and isolated tornado possible in parts of southeastern France. A level 1 is issued for parts of northwestern Italy, mainly for heavy rain, and level 1 in parts of northeastern Spain for isolated hail and strong to severe gusts and some heavy rains possible. Now level 1 parts of northern Algeria into Tunisia for some hail and some heavy rain with strong wind gusts. So be careful in those parts of northern Africa and southern Europe. There's for Monday, for tomorrow, for Tuesday, so today's Monday, for Tuesday there, they have a level 2 spots in northern Italy and a level 1 as well in the Mediterranean. So here shows a level 2 across parts of northwestern Italy, mainly for excessive rainfall, so it might rain very hard in some areas there. And a level 1 surrounds the level 2 for similar risks but lower probabilities. In addition, isolated large hail, strong severe gusts, and isolated tornado are forecast. So level 1 also in parts of course, mainly for heavy rain, an isolated tornado threat, and level 1 spots central Mediterranean for a few water spouts and heavy rain. So please be careful in those areas, especially the heavy rain spots of northern Italy, those areas. So here does show that rain still in those storms across Spain, spots of France, especially in Italy, shows some heavy rain there. And Tuesday still shows more storms across Spain. Tomorrow afternoon, even some snow in the mountains, more storms in central to northern Spain. And then this shows in France, southern France, spots of Italy, some more as well, and some snow in the Alps. So Tuesday, Wednesday, some heavy rain later tomorrow in northern Italy and also in the Mediterranean. Those stronger storms Thursday still shows into the Balkans, some rain. Potentially Friday, another system into Ireland and the UK, some gusty winds, and another front Saturday, more snow and rain into Spain, potentially more storms Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be monitoring that as well. But the rainfall amount spots of Italy and Switzerland and Corsica might get very high. The Europeans like 200 millimeters in 5 days, spots of Italy, Slovenia, and more in Switzerland. Spots of northern Italy, more than 170 millimeters, and even the coast, some areas to 131. Further south in central Italy, you might have some heavy storms, and also in Corsica, more than 100 millimeters. So be careful in the coast of Spain and Portugal as well. You might have some heavy downpours, and this system Friday might bring some heavy ones near the western, southwestern UK. So stay safe there. Be careful. There's this high resolution model for the next day or so. Narray shows spots in northern Italy, more than 100 millimeters, and more across the interior parts of Spain, southern France. So be careful those areas. And plus, what they mentioned there, the probability of some stronger storms with hail and some potential for water spouts or weak tornadoes. So be careful those areas, especially the rainfall amounts. And pure northern Africa, Tunisia, spots of Algeria still might be very strong, some thunderstorms. So the icon, for example, shows here some storms today, some in Morocco maybe, but especially in Algeria, some more Tuesday, even in Tunisia, some Wednesday. So be careful and be aware in those areas. Now moving over to North America, we still have these systems with snow spots of Canada and the northern US. And we are watching long-term trends for more severe weather in late April. So still shows day one here the slight risk spots of West Virginia into Virginia and spots of Maryland, southern Ohio to Kentucky. More storms. The slight risk and the marginal shows from Tennessee to spots of Pennsylvania. So be careful. There's the tornado risk a little bit higher, 5% in West Virginia, spots of Kentucky, southern Ohio, and the 2% from Kentucky to Maryland. So be careful there with some tornado threat today. There's wind 15 and 5%, be careful with that as well. And hail shows also 15 and 5%, so be careful. Scattered strong to severe storms expected this afternoon for early tonight, the upper Ohio Valley and eastwards to the mid-Atlantic. Large hail and severe wind gusts and a couple of tornadoes will be possible. So stay safe, especially that tornado threat. Tomorrow on Tuesday, nothing crazy, nothing severe. On Wednesday, still nothing. But day 4, Thursday, already shows some severe potential, spots of Iowa and northern Missouri, spots of Nebraska as well. So this is a slight risk already, a 15% for day 4. If I'm right, day 4 is Thursday, I think, because today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so please be careful. And here shows Thursday to Friday. Yeah, so there's day 4. Day 5 is this very wide slight risk. The 15% goes all the way from central Texas to Michigan. So this might be slightly bigger event than day 4, and it might cover a very wide area, as you see here, the 15% from Texas all the way to Michigan. So be careful Friday, from Friday to Saturday, day 5. So be aware. Day 6 still calm, day 7, day 8 still nothing, but be careful for day 4 and day 5, especially day 5 there. So a long wave trough should become clearly anchored over the west and consist multiple embedded shortwave impulses. Big surface cyclone amplitudes largely progged over western Kansas Thursday afternoon with a dry line arching over eastern Kansas to the southern plains. Another day of modifying moisture should return northward from the western Gulf, should yield at least some moderate buoyancy ahead of the dry line. A strengthening low-level jet should support thunderstorm development across lower Missouri, mid-Mississippi valleys, and Thursday evening. Supercell wind profiles support potentially scattered severe storms for Thursday, day 4. And day 5, a broad swath of the strong mid-level southwesterlies appears likely to become established from the southern high plains to the Great Lakes, downstream of the long wave trough through James Bay, lower Colorado Valley. While the deep cyclone over Kansas vicinity will weaken, it should move towards the central Great Lakes from along ahead of its track, trailing cold front arcing southwestward into the West Texas. Extensive thunderstorm development is anticipated Friday afternoon evening, given the strong mid-level flow region. Scarce severe storms are possible and elongated corridor, like you see here. So please be careful during those days, and still shows critical the fire risk for day 5 here in New Mexico. Some spots there, so be careful. Here's for today. There's the Coral State University, has some wind and hail probability as well, but they had a further south than the Storm Prediction Center. I don't quite see that happening. But here for day 4, Thursday, the Coral State University already has a 15% spots of Iowa and a bigger 15% and a 30% in central eastern Iowa. So it definitely has some more probabilities, but the SIPS is way further south towards Texas. So that's kind of different, but I trust this one more. That's more aligned with the Storm Prediction Center. And here for Friday, day 5, it does show this elongated area as well, from Texas to Michigan, with slightly stronger Michigan. It shows there. And still later, day 8 or something, the SIP still has stuff in the plains, day 7 to watch. But further out than that, still shows here like on week 3 supercell accumulation possibilities. It shows very big area of severe weather potential by week 3, especially from Texas to Iowa in the plains in those areas. So we'll be watching this on week 2. Already shows some more severe weather potential in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, more spots there. But especially week 3 shows this bigger potential as we get those troughs there and the Gulf moisture. So we'll keep watching this, but be aware in those areas. And now week 1 already shows some there, but especially the coming weeks might have some greater severe weather threats. So please be careful. There's the GFS here, shows like today, Monday and Tuesday, some snow in Ontario there, in eastern Canada, and spots of the northeast until Wednesday, and even Thursday. Then shows the snow, maybe western Canada into Montana by Thursday, as that system comes, and those storms there on the 15% on Thursday. And then Friday shows like Friday evening, those storms in the 15%, and still showing stuff Saturday. The GFS still has a system Sunday with that low pressure in the plains. And by Monday, the 21st, the GFS still has a stronger low pressure there, and then with some snow as well. And it goes, and later on, this like on April 25th, still shows some severe weather possible. And then it goes, and the GFS even has like on the 28th, another low pressure with some ice in Canada and more storms. But that's kind of far out, we can't know much there yet. But be aware for the stuff this week. And there's the European show like some storms today there in West Virginia and Kentucky in the slight risk. This goes, the snow in the northeast, spots of Canada. And then does show Thursday there, storms in Missouri and Iowa, even as far north as Minnesota, some storms there. And Friday, this like late on Friday evening, this line of storms is not showing anything too crazy, but does show some scattered severe storms along that area of the 15%. But still shows Sunday on the 20th, a big line of storms in Texas, the European, and shows like this low pressure on the 21st, and even more like as we go into next week, further south, Texas, Louisiana, showing some crazy systems around the 26th and more later. But we'll keep watching that. Just know that now until early May, we might have some more severe weather events. Maybe not as crazy as it was in March, but later into like the last week of April, it can get pretty intense. So be aware. So here, for like those dew points, there's the European shows. So Tuesday, Wednesday, especially at Thursday evening, the European does have a cautious 60s dew points, spots of Iowa, where that 15% is, some 50s and 60s dew points in Missouri as well for Thursday evening, and it goes there, shows Friday, like Friday evening, this corridor from Texas to southern Michigan, like 60s and 50s dew points, and widespread 60s dew points possible there. So please be careful. And still shows later into next week some higher ones in the southern plains. So be careful those areas. Here there's like the map shows some heavy snow in a spot or two of Minnesota or Michigan today, and shows day 2 some more mixed precipitation, maybe the northeast, and day 3 some mixed precipitation, snow spots to the west and the northeast as well. So we do have a marginal risk for excessive rainfall in West Virginia today. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, California, Nevada, marginal risk for Wednesday. Day 4, nothing. Day 5, still nothing. So be aware, but nothing that crazy. And here for 7 days, does show more precipitation total back south in the plains in Oklahoma, Kansas, spots of Missouri. Next 7 days. Next 2 days is kind of quiet. Further on the east, more rain. Next 3 days on the west, kind of starts there. Next 5 days starts on the plains. Later, by the end of the 5-day period, and next 7 days shows even more potentially there. So be careful those areas. And winter storm severity index still shows some moderate in the UP of Michigan, and some major right on the coast, some major there because of the snow. So be careful. There's some moderate spots of Montana, even a mountain or two, some major, and more there's spots in New York, some moderate. There's a single mountain there that shows an extreme. It must be a very high one, like Mount Washington or something, but be careful there in case of snow. And here for next 48 hours, does show more snow the UP of Michigan, even northern Wisconsin, spots of New York, maybe Pennsylvania, even a finger or two in West Virginia, and more spots in the northern Vermont and Maine and northern Michigan. So be aware. And near the UP of Michigan, they do show even close to 8 to 10 inches, some spots there. So be careful in those areas. There's the ice. That doesn't show anything crazy, but you never know if there can be a small ice or two, but here doesn't show anything yet. But be aware. And for wind shows maybe breezier today in the plains and those areas there, and in the Great Lakes, especially near Michigan, maybe a mountain or two, Southern California, and in the Atlantic, in the Appalachians, maybe windy there. But be aware in those areas, and that shows those hard temperatures still in Texas, in the south, the southeast, and the southwest, some 90s, some 80s still in those areas, and still shows during the night some 20s and 30s further north in the plains, and teens in the mountains, and still northern Maine, some 30s and 20s. So be careful. Now for tomorrow afternoon, shows some 70s as far north as Montana, still some 90s further in the southwest, and some 80s in the southeast. So be careful. Minimal for Wednesday morning still shows some 20s, teens in northern Wisconsin, Michigan, some 30s in the northeast, and in the mountains, some 30s, 20s. So be careful. And day 3 max, still some 80s in the plains, some 90s in the southwest. For Wednesday afternoon, some 80s in Florida, and still kind of mild to kind of coldish in a spot to the northeast. Day 3 shows some 20s, 30s, the mountains again, even some isolated ones to some teens or single digits, but warmer in the south, and some 20s, 30s in the northeast Thursday morning. But Thursday afternoon shows more 90s in the plains, even to 93, might be close to 94, some spots in Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, and some 70s, 60s in Iowa, where the severe weather will be at, and some 80s in Missouri. Some 80s in the southeast as well, and in the southwest. So be aware. And Friday morning, kind of colder in the Rockies because of that system coming. The start of the storms and everything shows some teens to single digits, some mountains, Wyoming, Montana, and the Sierra Nevada, some 20s, 30s in the mountains, and 20 and 30s in the northeast as well. And Friday afternoon, warmer in the central, south, southeast, and even the Midwest, and some 90s in southern Florida, Texas, and some 70s on the west coast still, and colder in the mountains still. So be aware, those areas in Canada are still quite cold, especially northern Canada, even to minus 28 tomorrow morning, Tuesday. But now it doesn't show anything too crazy, but colder in Yukon, spots of Manitoba, Ontario, and milder spots of the southeast and the southwest. So Monday, Tuesday shows more negative temperatures. Tuesday morning, most of central Canada, especially in the north, on the east coast as well, colder, and some gaps in the middle. So Tuesday afternoon shows southern Alberta even to 17 degrees, and spots of southern Quebec to 12, 13, but colder central Ontario, northern Manitoba, Nunavut, northwestern territories. So Tuesday, Wednesday shows still like Wednesday morning, this is some more negative temperatures, central, western Canada, more spots in northern Canada, even to minus 31 in Nunavut, because that cold air right there, and shows more spots of Ontario, Quebec as well. And some negative temperatures. Wednesday afternoon does get milder in some spots, central, southern Canada, but still Thursday morning, some slightly cold air in the southeast again, some negative temperatures, and then shows more spots in Nunavut, very cold, and more Yukon, British Columbia, to some negative temperatures in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Thursday morning. The afternoon does get milder, some spots in Western Canada, Vancouver even 15 degrees, and some spots in the southeast. A little bit milder, but still cold in northeastern Canada. And then Friday morning does show the southernmost part is spared, but central northern Quebec and Ontario is colder, and Nunavut still close to minus 30, and some active temperatures, Saskatchewan, northwestern territories, Yukon, parts of British Columbia and Alberta still, and Labrador. So stay safe. The GFS is similar, but not that difference. But there's some minor differences. So stay safe in those areas. Shows some snow now in spots on the west coast, in Alaska as well. So shows Monday, Tuesday, more through southwestern Alaska and the islands there. Some more snow Thursday, Friday shows some freezing rain in a few spots of Yukon and Alaska, northwestern territories, some snow. Friday, Saturday, some British Columbia as well. Not way to Nunavut shows some snow Saturday possible, and still Sunday, the 20th, some snow spots of western Canada. And maybe by the 23rd, later in the other weeks, some more just central Canada to watch. So, but in the east still shows Monday today, Newfoundland, some rain and freezing rain, and some snow in Labrador, spots of eastern Quebec, and even Newfoundland, some snow in Ontario. At the same time, Tuesday, tomorrow, more snow, spots of Quebec as well. Tuesday, Wednesday, some snow Wednesday, Thursday, more spots there in Ontario. Shows Friday, possibly another snow, another front, and possibly some storms Saturday in Ontario by the European, but this might change still, so be aware in those areas. And let's see the wind, so still shows some stronger gusts further south, southern Alaska, central northern US, because that system, and spots in Atlantic Canada slightly windier. Still shows Tuesday near Labrador in eastern Quebec, some higher gusts. And let's see here, still Hudson Bay, slightly gustier, Lake Superior, but Tuesday shows the Aleutian Islands, the new system, some higher gusts, be careful. And still shows some spots in Alberta, British Columbia, but in the central and eastern US, by Tuesday afternoon, the European does have some higher gusts in West Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, some 48 to 59 mile per gusts, some spots. So be aware those areas, and maybe a gust wind or two in the southwest in some areas, and still like in Alberta, spots of British Columbia, and and the Hudson Bay in Ontario, and still shows, yeah, this Tuesday afternoon. So Wednesday this goes, but still quite windy. Some spots in the eastern US and southern Alaska is honestly insane in the mountains, even to 70 mile per gust, and some more spots there. Some islands driven 60 mile per gust. So Wednesday, Thursday shows like in the southwest that fire danger. Thursday to Friday shows some higher gusts. This goes, and potentially Friday still northern Mexico, the US, spots of the Midwest, slightly gust still shows between British Columbia and the Northwestern Territories Saturday. So Saturday, and the rest is too far out, but still shows by Sunday the 20th kind of disturbed. Nunavut, Northwestern Territories, maybe near the East Coast as well. But this is just a forecast, it will still change, but be aware those areas. And here still shows snow like next 5 days until Saturday. Shows spots of eastern Canada to 43 centimeters, spots to 49, 32 centimeters, more for central Quebec as well, and Labrador, especially northern Quebec, and spots of Ontario as well. So be careful in those areas. More spots spotted to southern Ontario, and shows like snow central Manitoba, even to 26 centimeters, more northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, more spots in Yukon as well. Shows more northern Yukon, British Columbia, northern areas, some more snow drizzles, even in Alberta, more near southern Alaska. So be careful. There's the GFS in Ontario. The GFS is even to 57 centimeters, and more spots of Quebec, even to 39, 42 centimeters, spots of New Brunswick as well, especially in Ontario. So be aware, and some more snow in general for Northwestern Territories and Yukon. Spots of British Columbia shows southernmost Alberta more, and more spots of like Nunavut, Northwestern Territories. So be careful. The icons much less in Ontario, but does have in Labrador and Eastern Quebec, some in Newfoundland, and then shows more like in the Labrador Seas, some in the Arctic there. This is some higher totals, and yeah, just be aware. And some in northern Alberta, in the mountains, British Columbia and Yukon. So be aware of the snow, and still shows here like the European spots of the Rockies. The European still has until Saturday some 9 inches in Colorado, in Wyoming some 10 inches, and 11 inches, even in California to 4 inches, and does have some more in Utah, spots of 8, 7 inches, even 11 inches in the north, and some more spots to 2, 3 inches, even Arizona to 2, 1 inch and 3 inches. So be aware. In the Rockies, even shows snow to Nebraska, Wyoming shows a lot, even to 10 inches, Montana. So be aware of the snow coming. But this until Saturday. If I put it until Wednesday, barely shows anything. But this will start like Thursday until Saturday. So be careful. Shows spots of Maine as well, some 3, 4 inches, New York some 3 inches, and especially shows like northern Michigan some 4 inches, even close to 5, some spots in further south in Michigan, and spots of Wisconsin as well, northern Wisconsin even to 4 inches. So be careful. The GFS much more extensive snowfall throughout the Rockies, has even to like 18 inches in Montana, has more throughout Wyoming, Colorado, northern Arizona, spots of California, Utah and Idaho, so be aware if this happens. But the icon's much less, more confined to the higher elevations. Some 10 inches, spots of 13 inches in California, even Nebraska to 1 inch, in Arizona has Colorado some, but yeah, just be aware the snow coming in Alaska, in the mountains, even to like 79 inches, 77 inches, around 3 to 4 inches in Anchorage, Mars to 4 inches, Fairbanks to 1 inch, and southwest Alaska to 32 inches, 10 inches, more the Aleutian to 30 inches next 5 days. So be careful, the snow there too, and plus those cold temperatures there still, and especially around the 20s and 30s Fahrenheit, even to like the single digits there, and southern Alaska in the 20s, 30s, but the mountains like 0 Fahrenheit. This goes, and some days slightly milder to like some 40s, but generally very cold. So stay safe, be aware in those areas.